Update 45 is one of the biggest updates to ever be released for DSS3, and in this video I'll be showcasing all of the new boats, ships, and features that came along with it. Before we get started, I would like to give a big thanks to all of the developers that made this update come to life. With that being said, let's get started. The first ship I'll be looking at is the Ace Class Ro-Ro, better known as the Beluga Ace. The Beluga Ace, which is made by Cold Oceanos, makes 28,000 credits per nautical mile and goes 17.2 knots at level 1 and 21.6 knots at level 3. The Beluga Ace is a Ro-Ro ship, or a roll-on, roll-off ship. This means that it takes advantage of brand new pickup and drop-off points which can be found all across the map. I'm not going to go too in-depth about the Beluga Ace in this video, however, in a few hours I will have a separate video on the Beluga Ace released. The next boat I will be taking a look at is the Mariah Class Commuter Ferry. The Mariah Class Commuter Ferry was built by the Drawing Dog and costs 100,000 credits. It makes 4,000 credits per nautical mile and goes 9.7 knots at level 1, but if you want to upgrade it to level 3, it will go 12.2 knots. Something that's pretty cool about this boat is that it has a full interior, and although the boat's not very big, it is still a really nice interior. The bridge of the Mariah Class Commuter Ferry is very small, but very nice looking. It's very cozy. You can see you have the helm right here, which is pretty detailed, and then over here you have a bench with one seat, and then towards the back you have a little galley area with a microwave and a nice coffee pot and sink. Directly behind the bridge you have seating for a bunch of different passengers with a bunch of different benches. At the back of all the benches you can take this nice little staircase down to the stern of the ship where you can find two entrances into the main crew area. So just kind of taking a little look through here, you can see that there are some screens, and then once again just tons of chairs and tables all throughout the entire boat. Over here you have what I would assume would be a bathroom, but you cannot enter it in this model. And then at the bow on either side you have another door that leads to the bow where you can see the main entrance to the boat. That part right there can actually be extended by hitting 1, and you can see it doesn't extend very much, but it does extend a little bit. The Mariah Class Commuter boat does have a horn, and this is what it sounds like. And it also has an alarm. This is what it looks like with the navigation lights on, and this is what it looks like with the normal lights on. In my opinion, the lights on this boat look very nice. I like how the windows, when they're lit up, aren't just kind of like a yellow, but it's more of like a tan color. With the Mariah out of the way, let's move to the next boat. The 25-meter police boat was built by Cold Oceanos and cost 150,000 credits. At level 1, the 25-meter police boat goes 22.8 knots, and at level 3, it goes 28.6 knots. The 25-meter police boat has a very nice interior. You can see when you first enter from the stern, you can see on the left you have a nice booth and table along with some counter space. On the right you have a door which I assume would lead into a bathroom, but you cannot go into it on this model. Walking a little further up, you can see that on the port and starboard side, you have another entrance/exit to the outside. And then walking a little further up, you get access to the bridge. Now, the bridge is amazing. I love this bridge. There is just so many controls, so much detail. It really looks amazing. You can see that on either side of the helmsman's seat, you have another chair for someone else to sit next to you. And then behind you, you have another seat with a computer on a table, so you can have a total of 3 other people inside of the bridge. Something else that is really cool is that up here, you actually have another fly bridge, which is really cool. Let me unlock the police boat real quick. And so yeah, you can see that there is also a fly bridge. Something that's also cool is that this does have a siren, which is I believe only the 3rd boat to actually have one. And you can see that there's also an alarm, and I have the lights on right now so you can already see those, and this is what it looks like with the navigation lights on. So yeah, it is a very nice boat. It is the biggest police boat in the game now, and in my opinion it looks very, very nice. The America's Cup 75 racing yacht, or AC-75 for short, is a racing yacht built by Aerozine 50 and cost 1,150,000 credits. It goes 40.1 knots at level 1 and an astonishing 50.3 knots at level 3. The AC-75 doesn't have a ton of detail, however that is to be expected since it is a racing yacht and it needs to be built as light as possible so it can go as fast as possible, and it is definitely very fast. With that being said, it doesn't have a ton of detail on it, however it still looks very nice. In the center you can see that there is one large mast. Currently I do not have the sails down, but in just a second I will showcase them to you. Something that's pretty cool about the AC-75 is that you can actually control the boat from either side. So as you can see right now I'm sitting down right over here and I am able to control it. But also if I want to head to this side, you can see that I am also again able to control it. As you can see right now, the sails are down and they do look nice. Something that is very cool about the AC-75 is that if you start going fast enough, you will see these hydrofoils come out on the side of the ship. And so it's very cool, and you can see I'm kind of being lifted out of the water right now. The AC-75 is honestly just, I would say majestic, honestly, having it being lifted out of the water, going very fast. I mean, I'm going 31 knots right now, and max is like 52. So the AC-75 is definitely a very cool racing boat. The Carpathia, which was made by Cold Oceanos, costs 15,500,000 credits and makes 30,000 credits per nautical mile by transporting passengers. At level 1, the Carpathia goes 12.2 knots, and at level 3, she goes 15.3. I'm only going to give a quick and brief tour of the Carpathia because in a few hours I will have a different video coming out where I showcase all of the Carpathia and all of the nice little details on it. So with that being said, I'm going to start at the bow and then make my way back to the stern and just kind of give a quick little overview. Throughout the entire model of the Carpathia, you can see it is a very detailed ship, and at the bow it is no different. At the bow you can see that there are ventilation pipes and a mast and the ropes that go along with it and portholes down to the decks below. It is all a very nice and detailed ship. Over here you can see that there are nice benches where you can sit on, and again another one of the masts along with even more ventilation pipe. And something I forgot to mention, this ship has 12 lifeboats, 6 on either side, so this is the most lifeboats on any ship in the game, which is very nice. Heading up here, this is where you can get access to the bridge and the wheelhouse. So over here you can see you have the engine order telegraphs, which look very nice, and then this is the wheelhouse, where you can see the helm, and overall very nice. You can even go up here if you wanted to, and yeah. Moving a little further back, you can see the big red funnel, which looks amazing, and you can see that there is a lot of smoke coming out of it, which is very nice because on the other ships, most of the time it doesn't look like there's a lot of smoke coming out of the funnels, so I'm really glad that they made the smoke actually be visible on the Carpathia. Heading over here, you can see that there are more portholes to the deck below, more ventilation pipes, and extra lifeboats that are stored on the deck. However, these ones right here, they cannot be deployed. These ones are just for show. And heading to the stern of the ship, you can see the last mast, along with 2 more lifeboats, more ventilation pipes, along with another engine order telegraph over here. And yeah, this is a very, very nice ship. Cold Oceanos did an amazing job with it. But on to the next boat. The next boat I will be talking about is the Tollycraft 26. The Tollycraft 26 is built by Aeronautics and costs 100,000 credits. At level 1, it goes 20.6 knots, and at level 3, it goes 25.8. At the stern of the Tollycraft, you can see 2 fishing rods mounted on both the port and starboard side, along with some crates on the floor. And if you want to head up here, you can see that there are 4 seats, 5 if you want to include the seat for the flybridge. So as you can see, I am controlling the Tollycraft from up here. The Tollycraft does have a horn. This is what it sounds like. And this is what the navigation lights and normal lights look like. Going through this door at the back will lead you inside of the Tollycraft, where you can immediately see that on the right you have a nice galley, and on the left you have a booth and table, as well as a door which would lead to a bathroom, however you cannot go inside. Moving a little further up, on the right you can see that there is the captain's chair, and at the front you can see that there is a nice little V-berth. The H-Class hovercraft was built by Cold Oceanos and cost 150,000 credits. It goes 24.2 knots at level 1 and 28.3 knots at level 3. The H-Class hovercraft is very small, but also very fun to just zip around in. So right here you can see this is where the helmsman would sit. It is a pretty nice control area with a decent amount of controls. You can see some radios over there, and it looks pretty nice. Right over here you can see that there are multiple seats for you and your friends to sit down in, and that's pretty much it for the H-Class hovercraft. Of course, you have the propellers back there, and this thing can of course go on land because it is a hovercraft. So as you can see, you can just drive this thing up on the land, and it still goes pretty fast. It's not super fast, but it is still pretty fast for being on land. And of course, if you want to park it, you can also lower the skirt, just like that. So all of the H-Class hovercraft is very small. It is honestly one of my favorite things in DSS3 now because of how fast and just nimble it is, and it's a really fun thing to just zip around in. The last boat I will be talking about is the Tiki Bar Boat. The Tiki Bar Boat is another boat built by Aerozine 50. It goes 4.1 knots at level 1 and 5.2 knots at level 3. The way to obtain this boat is by locating its wreck at one of the wreck locations across the map. The thing that makes it hard to find is that the wreck location is different in every server. In the middle of the Tiki Bar Boat, you can find the helm as well as a small little red refrigerator. The roof of the Tiki Bar Boat is sort of this hay material. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but it does look nice, especially with the wooden support beams going into the middle. Surrounding the middle are these nice white lights which can be turned on and off. Surrounding the middle of the Tiki Bar Boat, you can see that there are multiple chairs, which is really cool because you can have all your friends on the outside and you in the middle, and it can just be a really fun kind of boat to chill out on. Now, by far the best part of the Tiki Bar Boat is the Tiki song that you are able to play. The Tiki Bar Boat does also have a horn that sounds like this. The last thing I want to showcase about the Tiki Bar Boat is that it does have this nice animated outboard motor. Update 45 also brought along 3 new titles. The Fan title, which you can get by visiting the game 7 days in a row, Enjoyer title, which you can get by visiting the game 30 days in a row, and the Chad title, which you can get for visiting the game 100 days in a row. The Sea Cloud also now supports custom colors, which means you can now freely change the color of your Sea Cloud. There are also 2 new badges. One of the badges is the Billionaire badge, which you get by having 1 billion credits in DSS3, and the other is Hidden Badge 2, which you get by locating the Tiki Bar Boat wreck. The daily reward cap has also been increased. With all of that out of the way, my video on Update 45 is concluded. Remember that in the future, I will have separate videos coming out for the Beluga Ace in Carpathia, where I'll be going more in depth with them than I did in this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you developers for making this update happen. I'll see you guys all later. Bye.